Hello, this is Emily Ionelli of T-Girl Angel, and I am very excited. I'm actually in the middle of starting a book project. Um, in fact, I felt I always wanted to write a story about what it's like growing up being trans uh, and basically hiding and living in the shadows and not ever really feeling comfortable with being your true self and basically hiding it from everybody, including your family, friends, anybody who you come into contact with, because you're kind of ashamed to admit to being different. And I came to realize through my struggle and eventually coming out that it's probably better to face what you fear the most. We all have our own fears in life. We don't have a life that's perfect. I don't think anybody can say that their life is everything that they want it to be. And if they did, I don't know how truthful that would be. Maybe it's possible, I don't know. But for me, I always knew in my heart that I wasn't happy with the way I felt inside. I always pretended to be someone that I wasn't, and I didn't really know how to escape that. I felt trapped and all alone. And the basis for the book is to chronicle my life and my feelings, um, and what it's like to grow up in a Catholic household with a mother and a father who were essentially great parents but had their struggles. Um, my mom and dad, I loved them dearly. I miss them. God rest their souls. I couldn't really talk to them. Um, I don't know if they knew about my situation. I think it's possible that both of them eventually came to know, but in different time frames. Because my mother died way too soon, and then my dad died many years later. But there was a time when I was desperate to get my hands on girls' clothes, and I couldn't continue wearing my younger sister's clothes. So I would, when I started working and had some money, would use mail order. And I would order the girls' clothes like bathing suits, dresses. And on occasion, my mother would confront me and ask me what I was ordering. And I think one time she actually opened up one of the packages, which happened to be girls' bathing suits. And she asked me, "What is this?" And I didn't know what to say. Um, I just said, "They're girls' bathing suits." And we never talked about it. and she took it away from me. She didn't want me to have that package. And I found a way to find it, and eventually keep it. But I believe she wanted to return them. So in a way, I feel she must have known something. And then many years later, after she already had passed away, I used to keep my clothes in a closet, all my girl clothes. And my sisters eventually would find out. They had already moved out of the house, so it was just my dad and I. And my father would come to know about it too. He would see the dresses in the closet. Obviously, they weren't mother's. So, I think they both knew, even though I never told them directly. But, I feel it's important to dig deep within to tell your story, no matter what that story may be, and share it with others so you can heal and so others can learn. It's very important to contribute if you feel you have something to contribute. We live our life questioning, wondering what it is we're about, how we come into the world, how we meet, what our destiny is. And for me, I always questioned my gender, my sexuality. I always questioned why I was here, what I was meant to do with my life. I never quite figured it all out. I figured out a few things though. I figured out that we're here to live our life and make the best of it and do the best that we can. And if we meet someone, that we should show our love and be respectful and considerate. And we should work to do what we can in our life to achieve and feel good about who we are, and also to be truthful to who we are. Now, we learn at an early age that we are either a boy or a girl. And when our parents raise us, they raise us based on what we're assigned at birth. Easy as that. But it's not always clear cut as to what our gender truly is. There's a difference between sex, sexuality, gender identity. Sex is whether you're a male or a female, boy or girl. Gender is about how you identify yourself within the constructs of society, whether you identify with girls or boys. Now, it's quite possible that you could have been born boy, but you identify as girl. That truly is possible. And I know that because that's how I identify. Sure, growing up, I played with cars. That's what I was taught. That boys play with cars. But I didn't just want to play with cars. In fact, I didn't really want to do the boy things. I wanted to play with dolls. I identified as a girl. And I would dress as a girl. I remember wanting to get my nails done. I remember when I was young, I somehow found my mother's nail polish and I painted my nails. And my mother and sister were laughing and said, "Why do you have your nails painted?" And I said, "Oh, I just wanted to try it." But really, I wanted to wear it just like they did. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't. And I couldn't understand why they were laughing at me, which made me feel bad, like I was doing something wrong. And I feel that in a book, I can express myself, how I feel, and what I am thinking. And I think it's important to share that. I think for anyone who goes through a period in their life where they don't feel right, they feel different, they feel like they're all alone, I think a book that can help them grasp what they may be going through can be helpful. You know, it's not every day that we find someone that we can relate to. But when we do, it's important and it's helpful. And there's nothing wrong with being different. In fact, it's okay to be yourself, to be true to who you are. There's nothing wrong with that. If you know what it is that you are in your heart, then there's nothing wrong with being truthful to that. Life is one, live but once, and it's short in the scheme of things. So you may as well try to live your life to the fullest and enjoy every moment of it, because it's only for now, and it's only until God calls us. So we may as well try to make the most of it, because we know it's not forever. I am writing my book for many reasons. The first one is because I always felt the need to write and tell my story. The second is because, like I said before, I feel I can share something about myself that might help other people. And if I can help someone else, that would be fine with me, because I want to help people. I want to share my story and my experiences. The third reason is so my son can understand why I feel the way I do, and hopefully he can gain an understanding that I didn't choose to be like this. It just is. Just like my son is autistic. He didn't choose to be autistic. He just was born that way. Just like I was born with a gender identity struggle. You know, I can't help the way I feel. That I feel happier living as a girl, even though I was born a boy. I prefer being feminine and wearing pretty dresses because that's who I am. That's how I identify. If life was simple and we could live boy, girl, you know, but that's not how it is. It's not that simple. It's complicated. And I don't have the answers. All I know is that there's nothing wrong with being truthful to who you are and how you identify. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can get on with your life and find true happiness. Because that is essential in living a life where you feel happy and content. No more hiding. No more running away. No more feeling ashamed. There's no reason to. Embrace who you are. Accept who you are. Love who you are. Be truthful to who you are. Because you are special. And you deserve to be who you are. No questions asked. Just live your life the way you know you should. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Tell your story. Live your life. Find your happiness. Be truthful to yourself. Love yourself. Accept yourself. Embrace yourself. Be yourself. My book will be entitled Dresses and Lace, My Transgender Journey. Dresses and Lace, My Transgender Journey. And essentially it will be about my struggles as a transgender girl, growing up, never being able to be truthful to myself, never being afraid, never being allowed to tell anyone, being afraid to open up, and living a lie, living in secret and pain. And then the realization after a lifetime of lying and struggling and trying to be someone I wasn't, coming out and being truthful. That is my journey. That is my legacy. That is my transgender journey. Dresses and Lace, My Transgender Journey by Emily Ionelli of T-Girl Angel. Look for it. Thank you. Love you all. Bye.